All right. Well, welcome back to the Unpopular Playground. Today's our subject is on personal safety. We're going to be talking about safety in the home. In this episode, we're zeroing in on home safety because living independently shouldn't mean living unprotected. For securing your front door to avoid common but not dangerous oversights, we'll cover the must known habits to keep you safe where you should feel the safest. Many people think they're being careful. Many risks fly under the radar until it's too late. We'll break down the smart moves that prevent break ins, fires, and emergencies before they happen so you don't learn the hard way. Because your future shouldn't be cut short by naive mistakes or careless habits. Lock your doors and windows, even during the daytime. People think, well, I'm home and I'm in the house. Guess what? There's many break-ins that happen during the daytime. They're not all during the night. Check your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. If they're working, it's going to help you avoid fires or carbon monoxide poisoning. So always check them, have fire escape plans. And if you have young children or if you're babysitting children, have safety gates for young children. And then always make sure that you have some sort of an escape plan just in case of fire or any emergency situation. And Jen, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, well, you mentioned a couple with the deadbolts on the exterior doors and reaffirming like a door jam brace
Yep.
to prevent somebody from coming in. And I noticed something that people don't think about if you have a sliding glass door. I know you have it, Debbie,
Yeah.
with you've had the bar so
Or
that people can't push their way in.
yep.
And then creating an illusion of occupancy using smart timers for lights to turn on or off can be helpful a lot of times. Avoid posting real time travel plans. Like Debbie said in our last episode, if people know that you're gone or you're going to be leaving, they're going to come and want to rob your house. Knowing your neighbors in your building, introduce yourself, and then look out for broken locks. If your outside area lighting isn't good and you're renting, make sure that they take care of those, that everything's well lit so you can see. You don't want to go up to your house and there's somebody hiding in the corner, ready to push their way in with you. That's not good. And then preparing for emergencies, like Debbie said, having an escape route with those break ins. And remember a long time ago in the 80s, they had that walk in killer. They had some people that would just walk into people's houses that were unlocked.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you want to make it easy for them?
Correct.
You don't want to make it easy for them. And then always have a flashlight, first aid kit. And as Debbie also mentioned in the last episode, you want to have charged phones or have a charger nearby so that you can always be able to contact somebody in case of an emergency.
Very good points. And another thing too is it doesn't hurt to have an alarm system. I know people think that some of them are expensive, but they're really not. When I had my last house, I had a pool installed in my backyard. And in order to get the pool certified, I had to have somebody come out and install alarms. They put one on the door jamb and one piece on the door itself. And if you opened the door without hitting the button, it would make this sound that would blow your eardrums. So you don't have to go and pay the alarm companies and that. And Home Depot has all of these things. I can assure that anybody coming into your house is going to set these things off, and anybody nearby is going to be like, holy cow, what the heck is that? And they're going to run because the sound is so deafening that they're not
Yeah.
going to stay around. So I encourage everybody to invest in some kind of system like that. And they also now have these locks that you can put on the tracks by your windows and your doors where they screw in, and it allows you to open a window to whatever you want. I mean, you can make it so you can open your window for 2 inches, but it will not open anymore because it hits that lock and it will not go past that. Break the darn window like out of the track. And by that time, you would be able to hear it. You would be on 911. So it gives you enough warning. But there's so many things to do. And you have to always think it could be me. I could be the next one. It's just staying alert at all times. If you're going away, make sure you have people collect your mail for you or go to the post office and
Oh,
let
that's a good thought. The mail, yes, because if it piles up, they're gonna know.
exactly. Can you hold my mail? You might want to ask a neighbor to just keep an eye on the house. Like I have very good neighbors next door. Luckily, I only put my trash out like once every 2 to 3 weeks. So anybody that would be scouting my house would be like, well, we can't tell if she's home or if she just didn't have trash this week. So, but for people that put out trash every week, you might want to have somebody, you know, put out an extra trash can in front of your house just so it looks like, oh, I am home and so things like this to show
Right.
that there's a
That
possibility of home.
illusion of occupancy and
And
changing that routine up
if you
because
have fences with gates, put locks on your gates and not locks that are easily broken. Put a good solid lock on your gate so that if somebody was to needing to get in, they're going to have to climb your gate. My fences are all about 6 feet high. So you have to be pretty good to climb a 6 foot fence. These are just things to keep you safe in your home. Put safety ladders in the windows of the bedrooms on the upper floors because in case of a fire, and you can't get out of your
yes.
you open the window, you roll down that ladder and you can climb out of the house. Are you okay? So as long as everybody does the drill
Mhm.
and knows how to roll down that ladder, you'll be okay.
And
And
practice climbing down it too to make sure
always,
that you can get
yeah,
down.
that and other than that, I mean, that's pretty much all I can address on home safety. Just always be aware. Make sure your floors aren't wet so that you
Yeah.
slip and fall. Be careful for slips and falls. Just things like that. Make sure before you go out, check your stove, your oven. Don't
Regular
hold
maintenance
on.
on your things.
Ex-
Regular maintenance on those
Exactly.
things.
I never leave my house with my washing machine or my dryer or my dishwasher running because God forbid a spark and you're out and there goes your home.
You mentioned before about keeping your appliances
Yeah,
unplugged as well.
if I'm going out for a while, like if I'm going to be gone for an entire day, I unplug my major appliances because even though they're on GFIs, my thing is I'm OCD and anal. So I would rather unplug it. I'll plug it back in when I get
Yeah.
home. How hard is it to reset a clock? So these are just things, you know, people get lazy, then don't think about these things, but keep these things in mind because one day you could be going, I should have.
And these are things that I think a lot of young people don't think about when they're
No,
going to live on their own. You know, mommy and daddy takes care of all these things and mommy and daddy's not around anymore.
exactly.
You're going to have to think about all of these things, before you make that big move. And sometimes makes you want to think, am I ready to move out on my own? These are some things to think about. Also, I suggest that sleeping habits, if an emergency were to happen, I know some people sleep in their birthday suit. I would at least recommend having a robe and a
Mhm.
pair of shoes nearby because if there's a fire or there's a thing that you need to escape, you're going to need to run out of that house. And if you don't have anything on to protect yourself and you have to leave in a hurry,
Uh-huh.
you want to have a pair of shoes under your bed or something that's hard under your bed so that you can grab what you need and go out in an emergency. And he's like, I can't. You she's out there with 300 people plus people out in front with sheets on him because he didn't have clothes on underneath. And he's in an emergency. I think it was a fire drill. Sometimes it was just a glitch, but they were always going off. And because of him, we all got to supper. We had to do stop, drop, and roll drills
Oh,
in that field with pricklies and all that in our pajamas while that guy stood there and watched with his sheets up. You could imagine what we all thought of him. I would also recommend having an emergency kit of something in your car
exactly.
because you could be driving in your car. I have a bag with my personal hygiene, an extra set of clothes, extra shoes, extra jacket, and emergency supplies. I even have a couple of emergency food in my car just in case I'm traveling out. But
Yeah.
you just never know, because if you have to run out and go in your car, then at least you know you have something to get by until you can get to another safe place.
Exactly.
So we'll cover both in the next episode, but I think that covers it for this one.
One last
Anything
thing,
else?
one last thing I just wanted to add. If you have pets, go to the fire department,
Mm.
these little signs, and it says, there are 2 dogs in this house. There's 2 dogs and 1 cat or whatever, just so in case, God forbid, they know that so when they're in the house, they're there and they're also looking for your pets. So,
Yes.
yeah,
They're your
exactly.
family.
This is just something, and for all of you young ones that are almost getting ready to leave your parents' house, these are things that you're not going to remember all the time. But that's why this podcast is here, because when you're getting ready to leave, it would help to go back to these and jot these things down so that you have them as a reference. So it's something that it's going to save your life and the life of anybody else that's living in your home or traveling with you. It's just these are things that are good to keep on hand.
We will get around eventually to getting little cheat sheets for you. Right now, we're just starting with the podcast, and we'll get around to more helpful materials for you to be able to have on hand in the
Exactly.
near future.
And on
Well,
that, we're going to say bye for now. Be
yep.
safe, stay
Stay.
healthy, stay curious.
All right. Bye, everybody.